650 horsepower. Frank's Marine inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Driver is Donnie Waddick. Throttleman Bob Christie. Navigator is David Allen. Alehouse. Other competitors in A. No Limits. I'm an Ocean. Pure Energy. Shogun. Z-Car. Aquaholics. Performance Marine. Team Ballistic. And Stainless Marine. Alehouse there making a nice jump. 29-foot Scarab. A7 Renegade, a 30-foot Phantom powered by one 650 horsepower Blue Thunder inboard with a Mercruiser drive. The driver is Rob Stampiano. Throttleman Rick Turmel. Rob Stampiano, by the way, is the owner, operator of Blue Thunder engines. Renegade took a third place in Fort Myers, a third place in Miami, and a fourth place in St. Cloud. Rob Stampiano, the driver. Throttleman Rick Turmel. The driver in the world record kilo run was Roger Acomb with Rick Turmel. They set a world kilo record in A class of 92.595 miles per hour. A7 Renegade. Special thanks to local sponsor Best Western and also Golden Host and Prix. Also families and friends for all their love and support. Will Smith and Mark Spates at Phantom Race Boats. Mike Wood and Brian Jackson at Dollar Offshore for parts and drive maintenance. Dave Fossbender and Johnny May for race boat maintenance and repair. Chris Curley Early Wine for support. Also Al and Di Plotkin for the intercom system. Peter O'Toole for photography. And season sponsors include R&R Custom Marine, Rich Turmel, American Powder Coating, Bob, Ted, Patty, and the whole gang. Blue Thunder Engines, Teresa Skiddo, Mike, and the whole team. Stainless Marine, Alan Brown, Jerry Schmidt. Super Graphics, Michael Chernoff and Julie West. RA Insurance Agency, Brian Ladd. And also special thanks to Debbie Fleischman for public relations. Renegade, A7, top of the pack in A class. Blue Thunder engine doing its job. 650 horsepower. Rob Stampiano and Rick Turmel. Also top of the pack in A-Class A3 Alehouse, a 29-foot Scarab, powered by one 650 horsepower Frank's Marine inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Driver is Donnie Waddick from Orlando, Florida. Throttleman Bob Christie from Orlando, and Navigator David Allen, also from Orlando. Alehouse, 29-foot Scarab, Bob Christie, owner and Throttleman. There they are. The crew would like to thank the Alehouse Restaurant for sponsorship, also Frank's Marine for rigging, Christie's Photographics, Mike Laversi from Gaffrey Instruments, Boatworks, and Wealthcraft. Alehouse A3, 29-foot Scarab, top of the pack in A-Class. Nice throttling there by Mr. Bob Christie. Other competitors in A include Stainless Marine, Team Ballistic, Performance Marine, Aquaholic, Z-Car Motorsports, Shogun, Pure Energy, In Emotion, Renegade, and No Limits. Boat is powered by one 650 horsepower Frank's Marine inboard, doing its job here in these bumpy waters in Sarasota. A77 Team Ballistic, a 28-foot Cherokee powered by one 700-horsepower Blue Thunder racing engine with a MerCruiser drive. Team Ballistic. All right, now let's go to In Motion. A11, a 29-foot Scarab, another 29-foot Scarab powered by one 650-horsepower T-Custom Marine engine with a MerCruiser drive. The driver, Jerry Sorrentino. Throttle Norm Teague, who is Bob Teague's brother. Special thanks to T-Custom Marine, Bob Teague, the owner-operator, and Gaffrey Instruments. Special thanks to Mike Laversi. In Motion, a 29-foot Scarab. Jerry Sorrentino, he's the driver, and he is from Camarillo, California. Norm, Newhall, California, he's throttling. In Motion. That T-Custom Marine import sounds excellent. Top of the pack in A-Class, In Motion. Little rocking and rolling there, but no problem. You're watching the 1997 Suncoast Offshore Grand Prix Festival, the second national race for the APBA this year. Battling in Factory 2 class, it's Team DeLand Honda on the outside, Team Suffin on the inside. Team Suffin, a 30-foot Suffin powered by two 502 MerCruiser inboards with MerCruiser drive. Driver is Richard Suffin. Throttleman Doug Lewis. Doug Lewis, the owner-operator of Professional Marine in New Jersey, located in Lightning Jacks Marina in Brick, New Jersey. And there they are, Richard Suffin and Doug Lewis. Team Suffin took a first place in Fort Myers earlier this year. Suffin Powerboats are responsible for many, many world and national championships. Team Suffin F-250. Nice throttling by Doug Lewis. There's Team DeLand Honda now on the outside. Team DeLand Honda, and it's a battle in Factory 2. Team DeLand Honda with Richard Bird and Pepper Ernest. And it's a battle here between Team DeLand Honda and Team Suffin. DeLand Honda and Suffin on the inside. On the turn now, as you can see, Honda has a slight lead over Team Suffin. Suffin a very hard right going through the wake of Team DeLand Honda. A battle in Factory 2. Team DeLand Honda, 38-foot Velocity, powered by two 500-horsepower MerCruiser inboards with Mercury drives. Pepper Ernest is the driver throttle man. He's also wearing our helmet cam. Richard Bird, the navigator aboard Team DeLand Honda, and we're going to go on board this 38-foot Velocity. Let's listen in.
He's about about 300 yards back. So we need to get him some on this next leg, because he's going to pick up us on us right here.
Nice driving there by
We're
Pepper
going to
Ernest.
188 when we turn here. But that should be about it. Back to the left a little bit. That's it. That's going to be that spectator fleet out there on the point.
Team Deland Honda in first place in Factory 2.
Riding your weight, dude.
How are we doing on this leg?
We're good on this heading. We're back to your left just a little bit. These guys are falling off to the right. We got to look for that boat.
Should be straight ahead.
To the left, I think it should be, Pepper.
Should be straight ahead.
All right, if you can see the turnboat, that's the other turnboat there, right?
No.
Straight ahead's a buoy.
Back to our helicopter shot, listening into some of the conversation between Richard Bird and Pepper Ernest. Pepper, driver throttleman, and of course he was also wearing our helmet cam. Yeah, got those great pictures aboard this 38-foot Velocity. Team Deland Honda right now in first place in Factory 2. Took a first place in St. Cloud, a second place in Fort Myers earlier this year. F-250 Team Suffin, a 30-foot Suffin, powered by two 502 Mercruiser inboards with Mercruiser drives. Richard Suffin is the driver, throttleman is Doug Lewis. We've got a battle here in Factory 2 between Team Suffin and Team Deland Honda. There's Team Deland Honda around the turn. Great competition between these two boats. Team Deland Honda being chased by Team Suffin. There is Don't Blink, a local boat on the outside. On the inside, it's Z-Car Motorsports. Z-Car Motorsports in A-Class, A56. Powered by one 630 horsepower Copa Power inboard with a Mercruiser Bravo drive. Jeff Haskell is the driver. Straddleman is Electo Footwearis from Miami, Florida. Z-Car Motorsports top of the pack in A. Coming off a checkered flag in the first national race of the APBA in Fort Myers. The leaders right now in A-Class are Renegade, In Motion, and No Limits, but Z-Car Motorsports top of the pack. Sponsors include Z-Car Motorsports of Pompano, Florida. Also the Hampton Inn in Sarasota. Nice throttling job here by Electo Figueros. Special thanks to Alex Figueros, he's a mechanic of Z-Car Motorsports. In factory 2, it's F127, not the intent, your leader. 26-foot thoroughbred powered by one 500-horsepower Mercury inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Bob Bull, the throttle man, driver A.J. Smith, navigator Jim Bull. Not the intent. Special thanks to Debbie Bull, Bob's lovely wife, also Steve Stepp from Thoroughbred Powerboats and Velocity Powerboats. Not the intent took a first place in Fort Myers earlier this year and a third place in St. Cloud. Other Factory 1 boats include Scott Prix, Dan Donzi, Mastery Engine Center, Team Chiropractic, Stressed Out, Chaos, Stress Management, and OT. Factory class. Not the intent. A.J. Smith, Bob Bull, and Jim Bull. Nice jump, 26-foot thoroughbred. Rocking and rolling here at Sarasota. There's Mastery Engine Center. Mastery Engine Center, 26-foot Zuppin on the inside. Powered by one 500-horsepower Mercruiser inboard with a Mercruiser drive. Mastery Engine Center on the inside, not the intent on the outside. Driver Michael Allwise. Throttleman is Deep Mastery. Mastery Engine Center took a first place in St. Cloud and third place in Fort Myers earlier this year. Michael Allwise is the executive director of the 1997 St. Petersburg Hurricane Offshore Classic Powerboat Race, which will be the fourth national race for the APBA after Kent Narrows in Maryland. Adib manages the Mastery Engine Center racing team and is responsible for the design, setup, and rigging of the race boats. Mastery Engine Center, 26-foot Zuppin. Not the intent there on the outside, and Mastery Engine Center on the inside. There's Loman Chiropractic on the outside. Loman Chiropractic in a battle here in factory class with not the intent, Loman Chiropractic and Mastery Engine Center. Loman Chiropractic. Michael Allwise and Adib Mastery. Mastery Engine Center aboard this 26-foot Zuppin. Quite a battle here in factory. All these boats very, very competitive. And all the F-boats always finish. Great competition right now between these three boats. Not the intent, Loman Chiropractic and Mastery Engine Center. Nice jump there by Mastery. Not the intent. They're in the lead with Loman on the outside, Mastery on the inside. Michael Allwise, the driver, Adib Mastery, the throttle man. Mastery took a first place in St. Cloud, a third place in Fort Myers. There is Team Chiropractic, 26-foot Corsa, not the intent there on the inside. Not the intent. Great battle here in factory class.